Oh, Gavaskar. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, each of them are such a heavyweight. We cannot just talk about all of them in one episode. So we'll definitely do it again. On Gavaskar. Last week we did Chandra and Prasanna. Adar munche,
World Cup.
we just talked about the 83 World Cup anniversary. And next week ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹುಡುಕ್ತೀನಿ. So ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ, we'll just talk about Indian captains. And modern idರಲ್ಲಿ, when I started, it was just when Kapil ended, Srikanth for a little bit, and then it was Azhar all the way. ನಾನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟೈಮ್ ನೋಡಿರೋದೆ ಅಜರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ಸಿ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಟು ಇಟ್ ಲೇಟರ್. ಬಟ್ ದೆನ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಈಗಿನ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದ ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್, ದೀಸ್ ಟೂ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಟಾಪ್, ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಟೂ ಫಾರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಅದರ್ ಐಸ್. But overall, I think, just from the record and the impact, I mean, it's hard to argue against these two guys, overall. Okay. But of course, now Vivek Kohli also has some good record. I will throw in some records and statistics a little bit later. So let's, just, I mean, don't take it too personally. I mean, it's just opinions. Of course, you can always agree to disagree. We'll just keep it light and fun. So with that, let's Somu, nimdu gottagilla who's your captain anta in general?
The unfortunate part is that I didn't see much of either of them, because when I came in early 80s, when Ganguly captain in 90s, not 90s, early 2000s, late 90s, because there was no internet ಏನು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. I didn't watch much of his cricket. I mean, I have seen ಆಡದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೆ ಹೊರತು ನೋಡ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. I used to read, obviously they won that trophy when Kaif and they got runs in Lords ಎಲ್ಲ, they won that game. Remember that was a great game. ಹಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಶರ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಚ್ಚಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ. I haven't followed much, to be honest. I know I have seen. If you ask me specifically what was your opinion about his captains, I didn't watch much. Unfortunately, that's a sad part. Dhoni a little bit in the latter, because aವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ exposure ಇತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. When you see 84ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿಯಿಂದ almost 20 years, there was not much at all. Last 15 years ಇಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So my knowledge of, as much, I mean, it's a theoretical, but I cannot really,
So I think after Kapil and Gavaskar, I think for you missed out on Azhar, Sachin, and Ganguly captaincy.
Correct. I totally missed it.
And now, of course, Virat Kohli. So anyway, you can actually, you're a good candidate. You can just bring up the captaincy topics and the issues, and not really zero in.
Yeah, look, in my opinion, obviously, as Australians do, you have to find your place in the 11 before you become a captain. You can see in Australia, they won't give you a captain. First, a team announcement, I'm a captaincy ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. I think that's the right way to do it, but India doesn't do that. That's okay. That's one thing. All you have is half. I think, I don't know whether you have seen this, this kid, that the wicket keeper, batsman, Australia, a new captain. He came out of nowhere. And, he's, see, idar bandide ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, 8-part series in Prime Video nalle, Australia, when cheating ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ, you have to watch that. Absolutely, that's a phenomenal. ನೀವು ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಮರಿಬೇಡ, ಅದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. So in that you can see a lot of things, how Justin Langer brings in the captaincy into the thing. So that's what it is. You have to be honest. You have to be very direct. You don't talk anything other than to the player and the team. You have to address that, and obviously you have to be a good leader. Other than that, there is nothing really. Obviously, people have to respect you for what you have done for the team, what you're going to do for the team.
Because it was very new for Australia too. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಯೂಶಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಚಿ ಬೆನೋ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಇವಾಗ ಇಯನ್ ಚಪಲ್, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಟೇಲರ್, ಅಲನ್ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್, ಪಾಂಟಿಂಗ್, ಸ್ಟೀವ್, ಮೈಕಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾರ್ಕ್ ತನಕ ಅಂತಾರೆ, they were always just picking their best batsman as a captain.
That's why they made it.
This guy was probably not even the best wicket keeper in the country, Tim Payne.
Yeah,
And then obviously he's not the best batsman.
In Tasmania, he was the captain. He did very, very well in the Shield tournament.
Correct.
So he was a leader. I think his qualities was a leader probably more than, and he was a very good wicket keeper. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But see, in the end of the day, they wanted somebody to be the boss there, to bring in all these youngsters, put the team together.
Exactly.
They were not even interested in winning. When you watch that, you will see it. They lost
For the
5-0.
first time, they picked someone who was a better captain than a better player.
Correct. But they wanted a wicketkeeper anyway. At that time, there was nobody right off the either. So they picked him, and it really worked for them. And he's still pretty good. So captaincy is pretty much, you have to deserve a place in the 11 to begin with, and you have to command tremendous respect from the team, and you have to be a natural leader. For example, if you talk about Dhoni, he's a natural leader in my opinion, and Dada Ganguly too. But if you ask, was Dravid a great leader? Probably not. Again, I mean, as much as the greatest batsman in the world.
Good results, but
he was not. He was Sachin Tendulkar a great captain? No, not really.
No.
When you go back to Pataudi is the greatest captain. Again, some people are born leaders. That's what it is. That's what you want in a captain than anything else. And hopefully he can bring the best out of the team, and also he can give the best what he has got. I think that's probably my thought process of being a captain.
Yeah. So on that note, actually, my first question, I mean, not really question, but I mean, the first subtopic I want to address is, the captaincy team selection, they have their own principles. Some of them, especially Dhoni, was very conservative in trying out new people. He was very comfortable with his surround, the known devils as well. I mean, these are the weaknesses of some of these guys, but I know them very well, and I can get them to work with me. There were others, especially even Ganguly. He was willing to try out new guys.
Yes.
That's how he went with, like Furaj, Zair Khan, Ella, Vasubrunraj, Harbhajan. Nobody knew much about them.
Well, nobody knew much about Kuldeep Yadav, Chahal, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, all of these younger players. Dhoni was the one who picked them.
Exactly. So that's what the current selectors are also doing it, and I think they are much more bolder to experiment now with some of the upcoming mavericks, if you may call it. I mean, they may not have the bulk of runs or wickets in domestic to prove and then come into the team like it used to be before. But Dhoni, sometimes it would be frustrating that even after loss, he wouldn't change, and he would say, "We are sticking to a process." He always believed in that process. As long as we are doing the process,
you're talking about those series losses away from home, like those in 2013-14?
Yeah, that's one of the examples. So now my question is, what's the line to draw, where you say, okay, you want to pick horses for courses versus this is my core team and I'm going to keep building on this, and I don't care whether we lose few games in the middle.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go, let them go. I have some thought. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, so probably before starting this, I think even Tim Payne, the books back on them. So I think even they were inspired by Dhoni, I suppose, because wicket keeping and captain. So they thought, okay, so once being a wicket keeper as a captain, that will help the team. So probably if they didn't have an option, so ಆತರ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. So that's one of the things.
That was almost right in the sense that I think they knew that we are not going to change this wicket keeper position at this time.
Yeah.
So because everybody was in flux, there was they didn't have a player who can actually stake a claim in that 11 in both Test and ODI at the same time consistently. Fast bowlers yarnu rely madakala because they always get injured. So Australia will never go for a fast bowling captain. And then batsmen, without Steve Smith and Warner, ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
Yeah, they're all youngers. Yeah,
which was quite
that's
new.
right.
So only
Yeah.
later stage they gave ODI to
Labuschagne.
Yeah, Labuschagne was very, very new.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
ಈ ಗಂಗೂಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸಬ್ರನ್ನ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ ಇದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. 99 ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆದಾಗ ಜಡೇಜಾ, ರಾಬಿನ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂಥರ ಅಜರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಅವ್ನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಿಬ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಅದ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ. ಧೋನಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಂಫರ್ಟ್ ಝೋನ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಅವ್ನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ಸಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ 30s ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರು. 32, 33 ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ 3-4 ವರ್ಷ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇತ್ತು, ಖಾತ್ರಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೇವಾಗು, ಯುವರಾಜು ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದೆರಡು ಅದ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅದೇ. ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನೀ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಡಿಬೇಟೇ ಅದು.
Debate.
Scenarios ಆ ಟೈಮ್.
The distinction between Saurav and Ido, what I see was, as Chetu said, he had no option because all this, whoever, the Azhar and his bandwagons, whatever, whoever they were all literally kicked out in a way. Right, wrong, good, bad, I don't know the details of it. I cannot comment on that, but they're all. But he had no other options except to bring in. What he did was to just brought in everybody. By the time he brought in, by the time Dhoni would take over, the team was almost settled. So except for Dravid, except for Ganguly, Tendulkar.
The only reason why Ganguly was able to try out new players consistently was because he had a strong core.
Hey,
I think what happened was that he brought in all these new people. They really did well. The Kaifs of the industry, they all did well, so though in a very short time they did well. But by the time it was transitioned into Dhoni, they were all like 30, 40, 50, 60 tests into this, and they were almost, that's why he kept the core and did whatever he had to do. Again, at that time, there was not much cricket as much cricket you have now, because you can try out people in the name of saying, hey, we are resting another ಬೇರೆ try ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. They have the advantage. So ಅವಾಗ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. You had to play everybody, and there was not much of cricket. So the times are different, things are different. Everybody got their different take on what they got, what they were handed. I think that's how they did a good job of what they were given at that time.
Yeah. So answering to particularly Kashyap's question, so Ganguly, as you guys said, I mean, ontara liberal ittu. Basically, scandal alla out of only ontara independency kottidru. So you can pick the team, and more than that, they were trusting Ganguly. So after that, Dhoni gave, so in terms of like media and also IPL, especially IPL, so exposure ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತು. For example, so even the ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಒಂಥರ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾರು ಆಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, okay, so we were getting, especially Dhoni was getting know that, okay, so he's quite good in this particular field. So ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, and also one more thing is he was sticking, that is for sure. I mean, one particular team on process, he was more into the process rather than the results. So always he wants to have that kind of over players, for example Jadeja or maybe whoever it is, so ಅವ್ರ ನಂತರ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ. So he was aiming for the World Cups or maybe the big trophies, and before that he was planning like this. Anta ella players know, even though the results were not much the results, I agree. I mean, the 2012-13, so England time alella ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು. So he got to know, okay, I
was that time his forte. ಇವಾಗ ಧೋನಿ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ, I mean, he's he will be in the all-time Indian ODI team forever, for sure. He will never be in the test team, and I would not put him personally in T20 team as well, because he has not really done much in T20, to be honest, except for CSK, right? But ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವಾಗ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಎಸ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ 8-0 ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೊಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದ. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅದೇ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅವನ ಧೋನಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ he has 21-3 record in home tests, whereas in away tests it's 6-15. So I mean, he's still on 6, which is pretty good at that time. Same with Ganguly no ashte, 10-3 at home and 11-10 in away tests. So not a huge difference. But one daily, that's where they, you can see, I mean, Ganguly antivi, but actually home only is just 18-18 and 58-47 away in ODIs. But Dhoni 43-26 at home and 67-48 away. So very positive in 3 out of 4. I mean, I'm not considering T20 at all for these these records, because no one else played T20. Like it's only Dhoni and Kohli.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, Azhar's record at home in ODIs is probably the best among all of them. It's 40-17.
Correct.
Yeah.
But Azhar, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, or you can, it's open for debate. He never built a team, or there was no team culture per se, or there's no legacy that he passed on to I mean, they were winning. I mean, obviously they didn't win any trophies as such, but I mean, there were a lot of winnings here and there, I mean, especially home test too, with Kumble emerging, spinners all madadru. I mean, but overall there was nothing to talk about in the sense that, wow, this is what Azhar did to the country, per se. I mean, of course there is that match fixing allegation. Let's not talk about that, but
yeah. So what I feel about Azhar is probably he was under players ಮೇಲೆ faith ಇಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Passive. I mean, it was just he didn't really enjoy it. He was not really passionate, like you can see.
Passionate.
Kohli is passionate about captaincy, right? I mean, he wants to lead. He wants to be in charge. Azhar angala
very laid back on. His cricket was laid back. His batting was laid back. He was brilliant, laid back on. He's not like so. And he was a supreme athlete. Luckily, he had that athleticism that he could. I don't know whether he worked out in the gym for as long as a Kohli or anybody did. He came and just batted beautifully. He was a natural athlete and did a good job.
Mayank, what do you want to say about Virat Kohli, your favorite captain? You're on mute.
Well, according to statistics, he is India's best Test captain.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really agree on that fact, because I think it's Azharuddin. Because based on his record, he's a really good batsman. He's a really good lower order and lower middle order and middle order batsman. He's a really good batsman, and he's got Kohli. He's also got many records as a batsman, and he's also led India to many victories.
Yeah, Virat Kohli's record is really good.
Yeah, they say he's the best Test captain, the best performing Test captain in India. And he's the third best performing Test captain of all time after Steve Waugh and Ricky Ponting. They say that because he's in 50 matches, he's gotten 31 wins.
33, yeah.
31. So,
I mean, you can't argue with his record though, Virat Kohli, right? I mean, your Test too, he's been a great ambassador to the Test cricket, in overall, he's been pushing for that. I mean, it's very rare for a modern batsman to actually, prioritize Test. His record is also great. I mean, yes, you're 20-1 at home and 13-11 away. So he's the only guy who has more wins than losses away from home. For India, for Indian captains. So you can argue, just from the record, but I mean, he has a longer way to continue as well. His captaincy is not ended. So like Dhoni, right? I mean, his last 1/3 of his captaincy was poor, compared the results at least. Dhoni. I mean, Dhoni had an amazing Test record for the first 4-5 years, and then his last 2 years was pathetic, right? But again, it's the team, it's the conditions. How many, all the stalwarts were in their end last year, the Dravid, Lakshman, Sachin, Sehwag. So adu ella count agate. You cannot just take
Definitely
the absolute number.
And also, mind you, the other teams tremendously improved as well.
Yes.
So it's just not our team, but
yeah. So in that sense, I think you can still rate Kohli as well, because he is also improving, and he's improving the team at the same pace like other teams. So that's why he's been consistently challenging other teams accordingly.
Yeah, I actually agree with you because Kohli,
What's your name, Pota? I don't know your name.
Dhruv, Vinay Kulkarni.
I know. I saw Vinay, but I know he's your dad, but I don't know your name. So, okay.
Yeah. So like Mayank and a few others said, the quality of the teams, it has been going up over the last few years, and that Kohli can win this consistently even then shows that he is on track to become better, but he's not better yet. So it's still like 50-50 on how it's going to pan out, but so far Kohli has become a successful captain. He might not be like captain like coolish. He might have a bit of a temper, but he's still a successful leader.
That is for sure. Yeah. The thing is,
Jack,
I mean, he has got a good team, especially the bowlers. That's the advantage he had. And of course, I mean, the thing is, he, even though, as earlier said, so another captain Nagi and even a batsman is proving to others. Okay, so he's setting an example. That's the greatest thing actually.
Also, test team, see, I mean, you can have great batsmen like Azhar and Ganguly's team had, even Dhoni's team.
Bowling,
But
bowlers is important.
until you have
10 wickets, 20 wickets,
taking bowlers, like like we had great spinners under Patodi and Wadekar.
But it was hard to find fast bowlers.
Yeah, and now
exactly.
we have the best set of fast bowlers ever under
Yeah,
Kohli.
I believe one of the statistics is since the start of 2018, the Indian team's quartet of fast bowlers has taken 292 wickets, which is more than any other.
Yeah, that's right.
Jack,
So yeah, that's why. See,
you wanted to say something.
ನಾನಾ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಸೌರವ್ ಗಂಗೂಲಿ, ಮಹೇಂದ್ರ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಧೋನಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Can we talk about other captains or is it limited just to those two?
I mean, Kohli came up, Tim Payne came up. So yeah, go ahead.
Kashyap Mama, I've got to leave right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, bye. Bye, everyone.
Jack, ಹೇಳಿ. Kapil Dev ಹೇಳಿ.
So Kapil Dev, I'm just ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ, ನಾನು ಈ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು 1988 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ 88 ಇಂದ 2010 2012 ವರ್ಗೂ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಫುಲ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಧೋನಿ, ಗಂಗೂಲಿ ಅವರು ಇವರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಕಪಿಲ್ ದೇವ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರಂಜಿ ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಡಿದ್ದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ಗೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್.
ಹರಿಯಾಣ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಬಂದ ಅವನು ಪೇಸ್ ಬೌಲಿಂಗ್, ಸಂಜಯ್ ದೇಸಾಯಿ ಓಪನರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಗೆ. ಬರೀ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಲಾಡ್ಜ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ, ಬೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಹೋಯ್ತದ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ರಿಮೆಂಬ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಪಿಲ್ ದೇವ್. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್. ಹರಿಯಾಣ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಸಂಜಯ್ ದೇಸಾಯಿ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ಮನ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಲ್ಸ್ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಸೊ ಒಂಥರ ಅವ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಪಿಲ್ ದೇವ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ 83 ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ನೋ, ಇದು ಗೆದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದು ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್, ಜಿಂಬಾಬ್ವೆ ಮೇಲೆ 175 ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದು.
India ಮುಂಚೆ I think that was one of the most inspirational act any captain has done, to lift a team from zero to top.
Yeah,
correct.
But you have to admit there was some element of luck involved in that win. I've rewatched all of it, and I've also watched all of the series afterwards. India lost pretty heavily the series after which West Indies came, because they were like still coasting on that high, I believe, and West Indies were still a good team. So yeah, so am I.
See, they lost the test series, yes, but it was I mean, just because so that doesn't mean that the winning of the World Cup was a fluke, but
the winning of the World Cup wasn't a fluke.
Yeah,
that was a lot of just determination and grit more than anything.
Anyway, Kapil Dev ಒಂಥರ ಅವನು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಾಗ the way he used to encourage players, ಒಂಥರ ಹುಮ್ಮಸ್ ಇರೋದು. You know what I'm saying, right? ಒಂಥರ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಜೋಶ್ ಇರೋದು ಅವ್ನು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ ಶ್ರೀಕಾಂತ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ವೈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ನ ಅವ್ನ ಕೆಳಗೆ.
ಮೇಬಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ.
I don't think so.
ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದೆಯಾ?
I don't think Srikanth was vice captain under him. Maybe no.
83 le Amarnath. 83 le Amarnath was vice.
Yeah,
between 77 and 88 did Chris Srikanth become vice captain under Kapil Dev?
Maybe 87 World Cup ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತು.
Vinay Kashyap, Vinay Kashyap.
Anyway, I totally enjoyed Kapil Dev captaincy. Ontara maja kodtidda. He was there. He meant it. He played the game with lot of passion. I do not know his statistical record, but he won the first World Cup for India, which was pretty awesome. ನಾನು ಆವಾಗ third semester ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೆ engineering NIE ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no argument, right? I mean, he's one of the 2 World Cup winning captains. I mean, that will never go away. So I mean, he's the first
ಆಮೇಲೆ
one.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನೇನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೇನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಕಪಿಲ್ ದೇವ್, Ian Botham, Imran Khan. I think these were the 3 well-known all-rounders in the world.
Richard Hadley.
Richard Hadley, you're right. Absolutely.
See, again, Kapil, I think Sachin, Kapil, Kohli and Dhoni
they shaped how Indian cricket was seen.
Short in all-time Indian 11, right? I mean, in any format, pretty much.
Yeah,
and also talking about those 4 people, they basically shaped how we see Indian cricket. Because
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಶ್ವನಾಥ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಅವಾಗ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಬಾಂಬೆ ಆರ್ ಚೆನ್ನೈ?
ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ವಿಶ್ವನಾಥ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ಸಿ 1-2 ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Yeah, anyway.
Vishwanath?
Yeah, so Taylor ಔಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದ. No, the Taylor I think he nicked the ball or something. Umpire ಔಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ.
ಬಾಬ್ ಟೇಲರ್.
ವಿಶಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲ ಔಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ಸ್ದ. ಟೇಲರ್ 97 ಏನೋ ಹೊಡೆದ ಅವಾಗ. And England I think ended up winning.
Yes.
Vishy was a true gentleman, you know. ಅವ್ನು ಔಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ನು ಕರ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಜೆಂಟಲ್ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಡಿಸ್ದ. You have to give it to him.
Even Dhoni did once in England.
Yeah, you have to go back and look at that. Vishy's I think Bob Taylor hit 97. You have to check out on probably Google search alla elladru nodbeku. So that was, I mean, ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸಖತ್ ಕೋಪ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. ಇದೇನಿದು ಅಂಪೈರ್ ಔಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಇವನ್ ಕರ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಂಗೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಲುಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ಐ ಫೀಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಅದು ಈಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಯಾ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು the opposition captain anyway. I mean, ಅವರಂತರ some stick to it. ಇವಾಗ Ponting will never do that, but Vettori has done that, Dhoni has done that.
Vettori ಮಾಡಿದಾನ?
Vettori ಕರೆದು ಅವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪಾಪ ಯಾವ್ದ ಹಿಂಗ ಅದು ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಏನೋ ಇದಾಯ್ತು, ಅದು ಪಿಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ರನ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇಟ್ was actually batsman's fault anyway. I mean, ಅವ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೋಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. Nobody deliberately did that. I forgot the batsman, Simons or whoever. So I think ಆಯ್ತು, ಅಂಪೈರು ಔಟು ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಇವನೇ nobody even appealed against it. But ವಿಟೋರಿನೇ ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಟ್ ಕೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಬೇಡ, ಲೆಟ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಅಂತ ಹೊಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು.
The similar situation against England ಅಲ್ಲ, ಧೋನಿ ಸೊ ರನ್ ಔಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ.
ಏನ್ ಬೆಲೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದ.
and hit a double century ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, 150 ಏನೋ ನೋಡ್ದ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
But that is, I mean, anyway,
it doesn't matter actually.
ಇನ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಸೋತ್ರು, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕಳ್ಸಿದಿದ್ರೆ 10 ವಿಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋತಿರೋರು.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that was in we were in very poor form anyway. But I mean, yeah, that just shows us, I mean, the way they think, and they just want to play good cricket, and they respect the rules and laws.
I mean, I just want to pass on one information. There's a lot of young kids they're talking about cricket. I'm very, very, very happy, because that's great. Yeah. But what they need to understand is it's not about statistics. It's not about statistics at all.
Exactly.
That's what the kids who didn't play or who born in the country and didn't watch cricket, there's a distinction between a good cricketer and a statistic. Just because he scored 157 games doesn't mean anything. It means so much more to the cricket than what they're. Although I think maybe what we should, as people who have watched and played and seen and been in this, I think we have to educate these youngsters. It's not about Kohli's 100. It's not about whatever. It's not about anything. There is much more to it than the statistics in a cricket. So that's what makes you, like, for example, what Patowdy did for Indian cricket, his statistics are pretty pathetic compared to everybody else.
Same like Mike Brierley, right? Mike Brierley.
Yeah, Mike Brierley.
Great captain, but I mean, bari numbers nodadre, how the hell did
nothing hard? He's in mid-30s. But what he did to English cricket and what Patowdy did to Indian cricket, and for example, Mark Taylor, though he got a lot of runs again, what he did to the Australian cricket at that time. See, these are all the things that you have to put into the context before you decide, hey, he's that, he's this. Again, it's Kohli is the toast of the every young cricketer. I know that he's good. He's probably one of the best cricketers I've seen. But again, there's so much more to that than what he is. It's not about individual performances. It's about what he did to the team in the era where he.
I don't. I won't rate him as the best captain right away. I mean,
it's so far
end up being the best captain, but not yet. Right?
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a great batsman, absolutely great batsman. There's no question about it. But again, what I mean to say is, he got 270. Yes, but that's not what all cricket is all about. So
your point, Somana, the Mike Brierley that I ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. Nazar Hussain he was talking about Brierley and the cap. I mean, I rate Brierley as one of the best ever captains that I've
absolutely
seen. And because if not for anything, I mean, he won some Ashes, miraculous, whatever. But the way you just have to rate him only because the way he handled Ian Botham. That kind of a maverick. I mean, he could have been the greatest villain. For his talent and for his off the ground antics and all those other things, but the way he handled him and let him unleash at the right time.
Take Ian Chappell for instance. So he's a 45 on average. Great. He was the greatest captain Australia ever produced.
Yes.
I mean, he handled Lillian Thompson and Walker. I mean, Walters. I mean, Stackpole. Great team. What he did was amazing. Ian Chappell was probably one of the best ever cricketers in anywhere in the world. So that's what we have to see. What he's an average great batsman, but and he rates. The other thing which I like about him is he rates Prasanna as the greatest off spinner which I like anyway.
Yes, I know. Yeah, But yeah, I think in that sense, I think. Not just the records and how many wins at home or away or whatever, but overall just to instill that confidence that we can actually beat anyone anywhere. And another factor that other teams can also will not take your team for granted anymore, and they will actually start thinking. I think I rate Ganguly very highly. In that sense, because he brought in both those aspects. One, though, India actually, even fans and players or anybody that said we can actually beat Australia in Australia, which was the best team at that time, or in World Cup too. I mean, we were confident that we can win the final. Why not? I mean, they lost the final badly, but it was not a concluded.
But the game against Pakistan, you should have seen the century. I tell you,
that was
that's the greatest captaincy. That was Dravid 60 and you all know the scores anyway.
Yeah.
But I tell you how he led after I mean, it was beautiful. They were chasing a pretty good total, and back then was its fastest.
272 in 20 years ago is pretty big.
Yeah. But I think he instilled confidence with others. Hey, we can do it, kind of an attitude that he led from the front. That's a beautiful.
See, if that is the example, NatWest finals, the way he started the innings, right, 320 chasing, he was like, I mean, I think he scored around 40 out of 20 odd balls. Awesome innings. Sakataಗಿ start ಮಾಡಿದ
145 for 5.
Yeah.
325 with Sachin, Ganguly, Dravid, everybody gone. Who would have thought that we can actually still win it, right? So Adu, and then of course the crowning glory of his captaincy is the 2001 Australia series.
Yeah,
Yes,
Kashyap Ganguly thought, because he was holding that on Sara, on the tumba superstitious, you know that, right? So he was holding until the match ends, and then he removed the shirt.
ಅವ್ನು ಗಂಗೂಲಿ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ಸಿಲಿ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಚಿನ್ ಟು ಫೇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಅಂತೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಒಂದೋ ಎರಡೋ ಸತಿ ಬೇಗ ಓಡೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಲ್ಶೇಖರಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿದ್ದಂತೆ ಗಂಗೂಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಸಚಿನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನಂತೆ, ಅವನ ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅವನ್ಗೆ. ಸಿ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಇನ್ ಗುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ, ಸೊ ಯು ಗೋ ಫೇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋನಂತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಸಚಿನ್ ವುಡ್ ಸೇ ನಾನು ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದ್ ಬೇಡ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಸ್ಟೇ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಫ್ಯೂ ಬಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ರೀಸನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅವನ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಗಂಗೂಲಿ ಫೇಸ್ 99% ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗೇಮ್.
That is right.
ಅವನು ಅದೇ ಅಂತಿದ್ದ, ನಾ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಅದೊಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ he had a great impact on the game.
You know, look, I mean, I'm gonna look like, you know, I always say that Gavaskar and Sachin Tendulkar are the greatest batsmen ever any country would love to have. No question about it. In fact, you know, he was, you know, both of them in the world 11 according to Richie Beno anyway. So they are.
Yes.
But that is where I have my Dravids and the Vishis of the industry are so far better. The reason is, on a good wicket, probably Gavaskar will never get up. He'll get 100. It's about his scoring.
Exactly.
Tendulkar about his scoring. Why? You know, if the team needed him to face the first ball, he should. But guess what? He won't, because it's all about him. That's where the difference between Gavaskar, probably Rahul would give everything to do anything for the team. He was. That is where I think the Karnataka cricketers generally it's all about the team and it's not about you. In Bombay, it is instilled the cricket when you go to that that's what they instill. The Gavaskars and the Sachin Tendulkar industry, they're greatest run getters, greatest. But on a winning percentage, how many has Vishy won the game? How many has Dravid won the game?
That is there.
Yeah.
Intangibles are the ones that it makes them better.
Exactly.
That's right.
I mean,
That's
on
right.
a tricky wicket, you probably want Dravid and Vishy before.
Oh, any day.
Any day.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The tricky is the Kingston.
You know.
Kings West Indies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jamaica.
Awesome innings. Yeah.
Jamaica, there were only 350s in the entire test match. 4 innings ali, there were 350s. One
All
from Vana and 2 from Dravid. That's it. Dravid 180, 160 ಹೊಡೆದ, Lara 52 ಹೊಡೆದ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ the next highest was 38 or something.
Exactly.
From all 40 wickets.
Look, you know, as somebody said, they were comparing on a flat wicket, Sachin Tendulkar is the best. On a spinning track, Lakshman was the best. On a minefield, Dravid was the best. I mean, on a mine, they wanted him, so that's what they were going to get. I mean, you depend on him for anything.
Yeah.
So.
No, even Dravid captaincy ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು. So even at that particular time, so overseas ಅಲ್ಲಿ, I mean, in the sense Ganguly win away series ಆಗಿ ಗೆದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. Like for example, he has won against Zimbabwe and probably one in England, one of the match, but the series ಅದು ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾದಲ್ಲೂ I think only draw ಆಯ್ತು, 1-1 series ಆಯ್ತು. Yeah. So but South Africaದಲ್ಲಿ I think the first win in South Africa soil was in the Dravid's captain. And apart from that, England series also has won it. Yeah. And
West Indies
and of course West Indies. Yeah.
You know, look, where he did not get why he is not considered one of the better leaders in the country is when India lost to Bangladesh in Barbados. I was watching that game.
2007.
That killed everything. Unfortunately,
that killed everything. But afterwards,
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನಮ್ದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದು ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ಸಿ
16 matches continuous,
16 ಕನ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಚೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಕ್ಟರಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಐ ಮೀನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್.
Credits goes to Dhoni and Yuvraj.
Raina ಬಂದ ಅವಾಗ. It was I mean,
My
Chappell and Dravid, whatever you say, Greg Chappell and Dravid combination was somehow working.
Awesome. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
Yeah, what
Like
ruined
John
his
Wright and
captain's-
Ganguly.
Yeah, what ruined his captain's status was the Barbados loss to Bangladesh. What a shame.
That is right.
Horrible.
That
Nobody
was
expected
the
that.
horrible. Yeah.
You know.
But afterwards, IPL ಅಲ್ಲಿ, he was, even though the results were not that much into Dravid's captaincy, but on Nantara Rajasthan, especially Rajasthan captain adaga,
Yeah.
he was into it. I mean, maybe the way he has become matured, and the youngsters chance ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾಗ್ಲಿ. So in that manner, I rate him. I mean, I still rate him as a good captain. But of
He's
course,
a great. No, don't get me wrong. He's a great captain. But he's not revered by the industry as the great.
That's right. That's right.
He would
That's
never.
right.
In the first 5 great captains of India, he would never feature for the simple reason that was it. If he had won and if he had gone to the finals or whatever, he would have been the greatest captain anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And of course, Kohli.
If you have to close, one sati we have to mention Anil Kumble for the way he handled that Sydney gate 2008 Australia series ali, when Ponting, Clark, ella bump ball nella catch ಹಿಡಿದು ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೋಸಗಳಾಯ್ತು, including Steve Buckner was the villain for India. But our series ali, the way Kumble handled the team and the PR, especially PR, and that line he said in the end, only one team was playing cricket. And
Papa.
that was, I mean, I'll never forget that. The way
I think now Gautam Gambhir rates Kumble as the best captain actually.
One of the best captains. Ganguly ಆಯ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಧೋನಿಗೆ ಬಂತು. So I mean, somewhere he missed out on that captaincy.
Yeah. See, if the same thing happened to Virat Kohli's captaincy, that would not have been the comment. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. It would have been a very
Nino, after that.
Okay, but
go ahead.
Kashyap, I have to take off. ನಾನು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. Thank you so much.
Yeah, ನಾನು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂಚೂರು ಕೆಲಸ ಇದೆ. So just wanted to.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
ನೀನು ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಗುರು ಕಶ್ಯಪ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್. I mean, the captaincy, they go and draw the first test, Australia, then they win the second test at Perth. He gets 100, but second innings ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಔಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವನು he starts sledging, and Australia just kept quiet, and only once that captain opened his mouth. ಅದು ನೋಡೋದು ನೆನ್ನೆ ನೋಡಿದೆ ನಾನು.
ಹೌದು. Yeah.
Oh my, unbelievable ಅದು. You had to watch that. I mean,
yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
That's where the difference.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what. See, ನಾನು ಈಗ ಕೊಹ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. So he has a very good fast bowlers. So because of that, I mean, at least overseas he has some good records. But like the previous captains, we were having a good spinners. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ Indian soil ಅಲ್ಲಿ we are having a good results.
Correct.
And I rate Rohit Sharma as a good captain rather than Virat Kohli.
Any day. I'll tell you. I would give him the captaincy in a heartbeat.
Selection, and the way he's not giving any assurance any player at all.
Because especially IPL ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ RCB, Rohit Sharma is making, I mean, even though it's a good team, Mumbai is a good team, the way he handles.
Rohit Sharma is lucky to have a great support
staff. That is right. Yeah. But still, I feel, I mean, somewhat at least on the emotion, the way he handles the situation, sometimes it's better than Kohli.
Yeah, no, definitely. That, like, obviously, he can get away with it because he's getting a lot of runs. Nobody can talk to him. Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
but Rohit Sharma career na like change ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, I mean, yesterday we were talking, me and Kashyap. So Dhoni, he sent him as a opener in the 2013 Champions Trophy.
Yeah, right.
Open ಮಾಡೋದು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು.
In fact, he was reluctant ಅಂತಪ್ಪ. He went, hey, go, ಚಲೋ ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸಿದ ನನ್ನ, and that made him the greatest batsman.
And of course, ಸೇವಾಗ್ನ ಗಂಗೂಲಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದಂಗೆ.
You're right.
ಆತರ ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಆತರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ that turned out to be a great ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋಂಗೆ ಏನಾರ ಇದೆಯಾ ಹಳೇದು?
You know what? I have some things which I've written down. Something I love. But box ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. I'll bring it out next time. I'll bring one of these things out and say, hey, what happened at that time? How it was.
ಅದೇ ನಂಗೆ ಆ ತರದ್ ಬೇಕು. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಒಂದು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್, ಒಂದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬಟರ್ಫ್ಲೈ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ಒಂಥರ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್
ಈಗ ಜೋಗಿಂದರ್ ಶರ್ಮಾ at the last over ಆತರ.
Yeah, right. That is oh my God.
No, that's even a good, I mean, brave decision.
Brave decision, right? Who thought he would bowl the last over? I mean,
the World Cup final, yeah.
ಸೇಮ್ ಇವಾಗ ಆತರ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 92 ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಪಕ್ಕಂತ ಇವನು 19 ವರ್ಷ ಅವಾಗ ಇನ್ಸಮ ಮೂಲಕನ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದ.
Hey, you know, talking about that, I mean, when it's Rohit Sharma, I tell you, Leeds ಅಲ್ಲಿ both KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma got hundreds. So you saw against Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Brilliant ನಾಕಪ್ಪ. I have got ಇದನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಸಿದ್ರು ನಾನು ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವನು 100 ಇದನ್ನ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳ್ಸಿನಿ.
ಕ್ಲಾಸಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ಸ್.
Brilliant innings ಅಪ್ಪ ಅದು. You have to watch it.
ಏನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ
ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ರೋಹಿತ್ 500 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು 100 ಲೈವ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ?
ನಾನು 1, 2, I think I saw 3 if I remember right.
Awesome.
Bangladesh, South Africa, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, but the best was Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I mean, ibru ಏನ್ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ. My goodness, I tell you. I mean, there's a good bowling up great bowling the team. It was beautiful. See, all of you, I mean, India ನೋಡ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. If there is any way you could spend your life earnings to go watch in England, there is nothing better than that.
Yeah, test.
ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತೇನೋ, India would have probably won that New Zealand game if it was played in any other country, any other wicket. But that made the difference on that day in Manchester. It was just, wow, boy.
I think even in Manchester, if it did not rain that day and it was a one-day game.
Correct. Rain was only a part of the story.
It turned out to be a 2-day game.
But the cloud covering and immediately it opened up. I mean, then the breeze from the, it all impacted in the first 45 minutes to an hour play. It really killed everything.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter who was batting at that time.
ನಂಗೆ ಅದು ಎಂತ ಇದು ಅದ ಐರನಿಕ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಕರ್ ಅನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ಗಪ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಧೋನಿ ರನ್ ಔಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ದೂರದಿಂದ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಡೆದ. ಅದೇ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀದಾ ಸ್ಟೋಕ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹೊಡೆದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ 4 ರನ್ ಬಂತು.
ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಗೆ ತಾಕ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಕೆಟಿಗೆ ತಾಕಿರೋದೇನೋ. ಸಖತ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ.
ಔಟ್ ಆಗ್ದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ರು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, 4 ರನ್ ಸೇವ್ ಆದ್ರು ಮುಗ್ದೇ ಹೋಗಿದೆ.
That's true. I mean, ನಾನು ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ, ನೀವು ಇವಾಗ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಮುಂಚಿನ ತರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮುಂಚೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂಥರ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗೋದದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 2 ಕಡೆನೂ they have 2 elevators on either side. ಇಬ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. I caught everybody, Vana to Michael Clark to Guptill to everybody. I got pictures of all of those people. Lots of ತಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Beautiful ಅದು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ everybody is a commentator there anyway in the World Cup. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಯ್ತು. Lots is another oval as Kashyap, I think you will like it. You both brothers will like it.
I like oval and Sydney ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಂಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಆಸೆ.
even I like Sydney.
ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ,
ಆ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಪೆವಿಲಿಯನ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನಂಗೆ ಆ ಸಿಡ್ನಿದು
ನಂಗೆ ಸೆಮಿಫೈನಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ 2 ಗೇಮ್ಗೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಟಿಕೆಟ್. Anyway, so
captains, I mean, even the other countries' captains we have to just mention, like Imran Khan, Ranatunga,
right.
Graham Smith probably.
See, Ranatunga won the 1996 World Cup. He won by almost single-handedly, in my opinion.
Yeah, De Silva, with the help of De Silva.
Yeah. I mean, you have to Ponting won 2 World Cups.
Ponting, I mean, okay, but in the sense he has a very good team.
I mean, yeah, of course. Warren and McGrath saku, then had Damien Martin, they had awesome. Oh my God.
But I think Steva is better than Ponting, what I believe.
Oh, there is no question. Oh my God, Steva is probably one of the best captains. There's no question about it. Yeah. Except for the Calcutta where he where he made the.
that is
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸಿ
that is
ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲೀಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಫಾಲೋ ಆನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಬ್ಲಂಡರ್ ಬಟ್
I think
ಏನ್
the
ಗೊತ್ತಾ?
Dravid England ಅಲ್ಲಿ so ಆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕೊನೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಐ ಮೀನ್ he was like 97 balls 11 runs so ಅದು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇದಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಆನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಅದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಲೀಡ್ ಇತ್ತು ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಕಶ್ಯಪ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸೊ ಅದು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ
what people don't understand is follow on ಅವಾಗ ಈ ಮುಂಚೆನಲ್ಲಿ 70s 80s ಅಲ್ಲಿ 220 ರನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಫಾಲೋ ಆನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಅವರು. ಈಗ
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ? They play so much cricket these days. They don't want the bowlers to get. They might
exactly. Zair Khan actually.
But what happens is they're following matches because they play games immediately.
Exactly.
That's why they don't use it.
ಇವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ತುಂಬಾ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ they might go for it. So there are many factors that come into.
ಏನ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಕಣೋ, because their workload is so much. They want to give them a lot of breaks because
that's right. Even Kohli is doing that. I mean, at least quick 150 runs and target around 350, 400. That's what he is doing now. Even though there is a lead.
More than that, letting them, bowling on day 4.
That is the
day 5 is much better than bowling on day 4.
Much better than exactly.
So adon bere factor barutte. And
see, ಅದೇನ ನೀನು ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಆಡಿದ್ದು ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ದರೆ ಏನೋ ಕೊಡ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಏನೋ ಅಂತ.
Exactly.
Common man will judge most. That's what they talk.
If somebody might come in and throw some statistics and say, oh, this captain, he had 10 follow-ons. This captain never gave.
Alla, even 194. That Multan, the Sachin though, at that time I still remember the game. Okay, so Dravid, I think drinks around the 2-3 sali kalsda Sachin. I'm not blaming Sachin because he is that kind of a personality. So he was taking his time. And Dravid thought, okay, anyways the match nam kaili ide, why we have to leave and put on the declare patta.
Avanu 178 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಟೀ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಏನೋ ಬಂದಾಗ
ಹೌದು
ಹೇಳಿ ಕಳ್ಸಿದ್ರಂತೆ ಇನ್ನು 15 overs ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದೆಷ್ಟೋ 15 hours or 8 hours or something,
whatever,
and that was enough to get that runs. But then ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹರ್ಭಜನ ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದು ಸುಮ್ನೆ 4 or 6
exactly
ಆಯ್ತು ಟೈಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಓವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು.
that proves my point. It's all about him. It's not about anything else.
It's all about exactly. So even he has written his biography that I felt little bit, I mean anyways he's that kind of thing.
It's a useless.
That is where I look honestly, and also I don't know whether you remember BCCI facilitate ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ Sachin was not there. He went somewhere. You know
exactly.
Whatever he wanted to do, he said it was a commercial, whatever. He could have cancelled it.
I think elbow ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡಿಗೆ ಏನೋ ಬಂದ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
You know what? He could have moved it for a week ahead, like a week before.
Definitely.
He was not playing cricket at that.
Because Dravid Sachin partnership, we know it's one of the world's best. I think around 20th century partnerships. Awesome.
You know what? If you're not there for that, what else are you good for? That's my problem.
That is it.
See, ನನಗೆ loyalty ಇದೆಲ್ಲ
ನೋಡಿ ಗವಾಸ್ಕರ್ and Vishy. ಗವಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಆತರದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಶಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ
it's a Baba ida story.
Exactly. That's true.
And of course Karnataka players ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಂತರ ಎಲ್ಲೋದ್ರು ನಮಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಲಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇವಾಗ ವಿಶ್ವನಾಥ್ ಇಂದ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗುಡ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈವನ್ ಅಜರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ಸಿಲಿ ಸೊ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸಚ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬೌಲರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ಸೊ ಕುಂಬ್ಳೆ, ಶ್ರೀನಾಥ್, ಪ್ರಸಾದ್.
Sachin he overbowled Srinath and he killed his shoulder. ಆಡ್ಸಿ ಆ ಶ್ರೀನಾಥ್ ಶೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊರಟಾಯ್ತು.
And he was probably very poor. In my opinion, Sachin was a very poor captain anyway. It doesn't matter.
He's very poor.
He didn't make a mark on his captaincy at all at any time. So
that is there.
The only good decision that Sachin made as a captain was to quit.
He knew.
I think will KL Rahul be the next captain?
Maybe. You never know.
If you know what, one thing. Okay, he can, but he has to get back to the test team somehow, somewhere, and get some runs.
Exactly.
That is right.
Look, I'm still an old-fashioned guy. it's all about test cricket. I don't care how great you are in T20. I don't care how great you are in 50. Test cricket is the ultimate test of your ability to play cricket. Yes. There is no question about it. In fact, somebody asked it. Yeah, go ahead.
No. I mean, that's why we love Dravid. I mean, we are like the idol.
The reason is that, see, there's 5 different days, 5 different things. It could be you might need 75 runs in 15 overs, or you might need, to save a total, lunch and tea. You have to not lose wickets. There is so much test of time. There are so many things that's involved in cricket that shows a character of cricket. Not hitting, you can 220 is a great for. I mean, I would rather go and watch a 5-day cricket in Oval, not in Lords, mind you. Kashyap, if you ever want to watch a test cricket in England, you would love to watch in Oval, which gives you a beautiful feeling than Lords. Lords ಹೋಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. But ನೀನು ಓವಲ್ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕಶ್ಯಪ, ನೀನು ಮಿಡ್ ವಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೂತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಿಡ್ ವಿಕೆಟ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಆ ತರ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ.
ಓವಲ್ ಡಬಲ್ ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಸೆಂಚುರಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ ಬೈ ಎನಿ ಚಾನ್ಸ್?
ನಾನು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ ಸರ್, ಡಬಲ್ ಸೆಂಚುರಿ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ. ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇನ್ 2003 ಟೂರ್ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಹೀಗಾಡ 70, 60, 70 270 ನೋಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ಇನ್ಯಾವ್ದೋ ನೋಡಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದು 15 ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು 8 ದಿವಸ 10 ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ.
270 in Pakistan, I think 222 in Leeds.
Yeah. So one of those. I watched that, but I didn't see that big innings. Agila. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಕೆಲಸ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ.
Lords ಅಲ್ಲಿ which is the best century you have watched so far?
Best century I've watched so far. Recent agappa, I think as late as 2011, 12, something like that. You know what? I'll get the name, but I'll tell over.
Sangakkara is it?
So, oh God, Sangakkara, that's a great innings. You're right. You know what? I forgot about that. That's a great innings. There is one more I'm thinking, but let me tell you. Oh, this is an older though. Steve Waugh got 157. Yeah. Brother Mark Waugh got 60 or 70. Ponting got 70, something like that. But I tell you that Steve Waugh 157, he played it in literally one leg. It was
2001 matches.
Yeah, I mean, it was that a great innings. And the little quick story. I didn't have a ticket. I went that's the only day I went that day. I went and there was no ticket. It's all full. I couldn't buy ticket. There were scalpers outside. Scalpers ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ನಂಗೆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ. I went to the ground, people which belong to the Oval ground, say, can I buy those tickets? Somebody listened to me. I said, look, I'm here from Los Angeles. I grew up in Bangalore watching cricket and playing cricket. I'm here for a day. Is there any way I can get a ticket from anybody? I want to go. I don't mind paying them. Sir, can you come here for a second? I said, what did he say? I'm from Los Angeles and I played cricket in India. I've played a lot of cricket and I'm here just for this week. I'm here. I'm here available one day. Is there any way I can buy a ticket to watch this game? Hold on for a second on that. I'm not kidding. He came and gave me a ticket. Okay. How much do I owe you then? Don't worry, you don't owe me nothing. And I said, really? My goodness. And I said, no, is it for real? And I can't housefull of Australia, England. Yes, thank you. Oh my God, I don't know what to tell you. First of all, thank you for the ticket. I didn't care about the money part that time, but you're not even taking the money. But I really do. I mean, I'm in hell. Thank you very much. No, you don't thank me. What? And you're going to go sit next to a gentleman, go thank him on that. ಹೋಗಿ ಪಕ್ಕ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಒಂದು ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ರು. ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, look, I have no idea who you are, my friend. I want to thank you there. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ದ, sure ಅಂದ. ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವನು, ಟೈಟ್ ಲಿಪ್, ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಓ ಮೈ ಗುಡ್ನೆಸ್, ಏನಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಂತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, he said, give it to somebody who cares a shit about cricket. I don't care who is. I want him to, whoever it is, I want that person to enjoy the cricket. ಸರಿ ಹೋದೆ, ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. Then I was talking about cricket. ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಅವ್ನು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರು. You know what? nobody deserved this ticket better than you, my friend.
I was thinking the same now. I was just thinking that nobody deserved better than you, Somu. Even
Guru, I tell you, I was so lucky in the care.
ಯಾವ್ದಿದು 2001
Huh?
2000
ಆಗ 157 ನೋಡಿದೆ ಒಂದು ಓವಲ್ brilliant. Almost he played his one leg. I mean, he had something. But Mark was 60, 70, whatever that was the best. Ponting got 67. Ponting was not playing 3. I was coming like 4 down or 5 down or he was younger. So
after 2001 only he started, yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's my oval story. I mean, I tell you, oh wow, I was so lucky, you know. So I watched
Langer 102, Marquardt 120, Stewa 157.
Yeah, right.
Australia 1 and 25 runs.
Yes.
So Kashyap Facebook page ಇದೆಯಾ ಇದು ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು?
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ಇದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀಯ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
I tell you, that was the best. ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, that makes what you are in watching. ನಾ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿಲಿ. I watched ಕೊಟ್ರಪ್ಪ ಸರ್, ಇವನು ನಮ್ಮ ಕವಿತನ್ ತಮ್ಮ, he gave me the ticket. ನಾನು ವಿಜಯ್ and ಕವಿತಾ ಕೊಟ್ರಪ್ಪ, we went there. We were in the pavilion. Great game again. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಸುಜಿತ್ ಸೋಮಸುಂದರ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬರೋಣ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಯಾರ?
ಸುಜಿತ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ಬೇಕು.
ಸುಜಿತ್ ಸೋಮಸುಂದರ್, you know him, right? Okay.
See, in fact, ಅವನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ ಕಣ, ಸಿಕ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ನು ನನಗೆ. He's in the NCA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾನಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ. He's a big shit ಅವನು. So I went and saw him. He was late that day. ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ I saw some, and I think you know who is that fast bowler? ಏನಪ್ಪ,
ಗಣೇಶ್.
He was undergoing rehab ಅವಾಗ ಅವನು. ಯಾರಪ್ಪ?
ಈಗ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಇದ ಹಳಬಾನ
ಮಾಡಿ ಈಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕಣ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿಲಿ.
ಶಮಿ
and you know what's the other guy's name?
ಉಮೇಶ್ ಯಾದವ್, ಇಶಾಂತ್ ಶರ್ಮಾ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಬುಮ್ರಾ.
ಬುಮ್ರಾ.
Yeah.
The main bowler.
He was undergoing rehab. ಅವನು ಆಚೆ ಹೋದ 9:30 ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. He had come there at 6:30 and he had some and physiotherapy ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು I think he
actually is such a key bowler ಅನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ನು ಇವಾಗ ಅದೇ ನೀವು ತರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅವನು is not impacted on the 2-3 months ಇಂದ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ. So even the results impacted to Kohli.
Yeah.
If you have observed, he is such a, I mean, yeah, one of the biggest asset Indian bowler ಇದಕ್ಕೆ.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I tell you, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ ಸಿತೆ ಕಶ್ಯಪ್, ನೀನು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳು ನನಗೆ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಮಾಡೋ. You can go watch ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ NCA ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ you can watch anybody who's playing there, rehabbing there, or anybody you can watch all those people, shake hands and come back.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
All right. See, those are the things we have to do.
Yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
So Ranji, which is the best experience? Ranji match ಯಾದರು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಬೆಟರ್?
ನೀವು ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಆ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ನಾನು ಪುಟ್ಟ ಹುಡುಗ, ನನ್ಗೂ ಕಿತ್ತಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯಂ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my goodness. He played in Australia. He settled in Australia. He was one of the best captains. State Bank of Mysore ಆಡೋನು ಅವಾಗ. He was, see, ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ of course Brijesh. I played with Brijesh, and he was one of the great. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. Bangalore, Delhi, every time Bishan bowls, you're guaranteed Brijesh would get 100. I'm not kidding when I say this. You go back and look at the record. So just before lunch, Karnataka pavilion ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ ಅವತ್ತು. Luckily somebody gave me, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಗೊತ್ತೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ. Somebody gave me a ticket. I just ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಡ್ದಾರ ಅವಾಗ. ಅಲ್ಲೋಗಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ. I literally heard Brijesh, I think 3 down ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ಅವಾಗ. 3 down, 4, something like that. Because Vishy 2 down, 3 down, something like that. Big move, wicket ಬೆಳೀತು. Bishan almost semi-new ball ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. Bishan ಆಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಜಿದ್ದೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ. Bishan ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ವಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. Hey boys, see you in the evening ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ಹೋದ್ನಪ್ಪ. ಲಂಚು ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. I think 140, 150 end of the day. Bishan is the greatest bowler. In my opinion, there is no better spinner, left-arm spinner in the world. ಅವನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರೋಣ, ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾಲ ಹಾಕೋನ್ ಮುಂದೆ. ಅವನು ಕಾಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕೋನು. Bishan is a great bowler. ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬಂದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಹಿಡೆ ಅವನು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಿಂತಿರೋನು, ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಮಾಡೋನು, ಮುಂದೆ ಹೊಡೆಯೋನು. ಬಿಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಜಿದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್.
Who is the best bowler according to you? Bishan, Chandra or Prasanna?
Maybe was there a personal ಇದು
ಇಲ್ಲ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ್ ಒಂಥರ ಆರೋಗ್ಯಂಟ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಆ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಂಬೆಗಿಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವರೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹುಡುಗರುಗಳು. ಬ್ರಿಜೇಶ್ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಾಂಚಲ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿದೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸಾವುಕಾರ ಬೇರೆ ಆ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ. ನಾವು ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಟೂರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಪುಣ್ಯಕೋಟಿ ಹಸುಗಳು.
ಹಾ, ಪುಣ್ಯಕೋಟಿನೇ ಅದು. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಹೋದ್ವಿ. ಬ್ರಿಜೇಶ್ ಡಿಡ್ಂಟ್ ಕಮ್ ವಿತ್ us, he drove in his car. ಅಂಡ್ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಈ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಇರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎತ್ತ ಡಬ್ಬ ಇಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಕಲ್ಲು ಇಟ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ನಾವು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು. ವಿಜಯ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡೋನು. That's how it was. So Brijesh was never with us, and he was everybody revered Brijesh because he was a big shot, lot of money, great batsman. He hit 277 279 ಏನೋ ಕಣೋದು. He was batting. Guess what? 320 330 ಗವಾಸ್ಕರ್ದು ರೋಹಿಂಟನ್ ಬ್ಯಾರಿಯ ಇದು record. You can look at it. That day, if he had played another 2 or 3 overs, he would have beat Sunil Gavaskar's record. Guess what?
Dictate.
Shika. What is the deep mid wicket between mid-on, long on and mid wicket? He lifted the ball. ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಈ ಮುಂಚಿನ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಲಾಗು ಲೈನು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಾಕಿರೋರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಒಂದ್ ಲೈನು. ದಿ ಗಾಯ್ ಕಾಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಸಿಕ್ಸರ್, ಅಂಪೈರ್ ಔಟ್ ಎತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ. Because if he had played for 2 or 3 more overs, 320 ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಅವನಿಗೆ. He was mercilessly hitting. That was one of the innings I was playing and I watched Brijesh.
No, destiny records are meant to be for the Maharashtrians.
Correct.
So
that was true. They did not want Gavaskar's record to be broken in Rohinton barrier. I mean, I tell you. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, Vijay Krishna captain, Brijesh alla captain. Because previous year Brijesh captain agidda. So Vijay Krishna captaincy kottru. Sudhakara, Nanu, it was a great game. It was beautiful. Those are the little things, appa, I think. Hey, one day namgalla one day ella cricket nodanappa. I want to see cricket with the people like you who can talk not about just cricket, but other things.
Yeah.
What it means to be.
Next ಇದು ಸರಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ನೋಡೋಣ.
I love to. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಇವತ್ತೇ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ನಾನು ಸಮ್ಮರ್ ಲಂಡನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಬ್ರು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬನ್ನಿ.
ನಾನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಲಂಡನ್.
ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಲಂಡನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ದೆ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ರಾಮ, ನಾನು ಇರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಲಂಡನ್ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ I would have been in London by now.
Yeah.
Because my wife would have gone, and she's going in September anyway. We were supposed to go. She was going to go in March, and the COVID in the hogilla. We're still staying home here. ಹೇಳ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಓವಲ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು ಕಣೋ. ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಇದು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು 10 minute ಬಸ್ ರೈಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ಹ್ಯಾಮು, ಲೀಡ್ಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾಂಚೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಸಂಜೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಬರೋದು. That's what I did. Yeah, to see Manchester, Leeds was further, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದು ಹಿಂದಿನ ದಿವಸನೇ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. Manchester you can go in 2.5 hours. ಇದು Birmingham is an hour and 15, 1 hour and 20 minutes. Easy bus.
ಸೋಮ ಸರ್, ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಕ್ರೇಜ್ ಒಂಥರ ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ ಕಶ್ಯಪ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಅನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ 96 ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಈ ಕುಂಬ್ಳೆ ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್, ಸೊ ಆ ತರದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಇಂಟು ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್ ಸೀನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತರ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹತ್ರದಲ್ಲೇ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು. ಸೊ ಕ್ರೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 4 o'clock ಎದ್ದು ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಅದರ್ ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬೈತಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಈವನ್ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ
ನಾನು ಒಬ್ನೇ ಅವಾಗ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಡ್ದಲೇ ಇದ್ರು ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ ನಾನು ಒಬ್ನೇ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಫೇರ್ ವೆದರ್ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಅವರಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡೀಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಲೇಟ್ ನೈಟ್. ಅದು ಲಾರಾ ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡೀಸ್ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಲಾರಾ ಗೆಲ್ಸಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ 9 ವಿಕೆಟ್ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆಂಬ್ರೂಸ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. ನಾನು ನೀನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದ ನೈಟ್.
I tell you, he was one of the better cricketers. My goodness. See, those are the things. There are some small-time cricketers who are so beautiful. They didn't play a lot of cricket, but those are the people. For example, to bring Damien Martin played a lot of cricket, but he was not the the Kohlis of the, but he was so beautiful to watch. I mean, it's a
Lakshman. He's just like Lakshman, probably.
Lakshman, yeah. He was just a it's perfect, beautiful.
2003 World Cup final ಹಾಳ್ ಮಾಡ್ದ ನಮ್ದು.
Right. Yeah. But that team, that's the one. That's when I went to South Africa. That team, nobody could have beaten that Australian team.
Oh yeah.
That is there.
Yeah.
Actually,
probably toss decision Ganguly ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು.
ಏನು ಇರ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ.
Yeah, I know what. Honestly, I doubt anything. I hate
I think chasing was a good decision at that time, because I mean that was their strength and that's what they wanted to do. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you should feel proud that we were really the second best team, because we beat everybody but Australia.
But Australia, yeah. In fact,
Two times we
Australia
lost
lost the previous games.
Yeah, first game ಸೋತ್ವಿ, ಫೈನಲ್ ಸೋತ್ವಿ. ಅದ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ 8 ಟೀಮ್ ಹೊಡೆದ್ವಿ, ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿ ಹೊಡೆದ್ವಿ. That was a great
semi-finals luck ಇತ್ತು. I mean, basically we got Kenya.
It doesn't matter. ಯಾರಿದ್ರು ಹೊಡಿತಿದ್ರು, ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಾರನ್ನೂ ಹೊಡೆದಿರೋ ಅವರು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ.
Correct. Yeah.
India was surely the second best team.
No bet.
And Ganguly choke ಇತ್ತು. I mean, finals he was never winning. I don't know. NatWest ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, so he was losing all the finals. Yeah.
See, at the end, it's all that's where they think. For example, South Africa will never win a World Cup game. They will not, because just that thing it's there in their head. India no ashte. They won, of course, but they're a little wobbly when it comes to the win. It's okay.
And New Zealand also may not win.
Howurda papa. Idu matra Lords agid matra tumba anya. That was horrible. Kane Williamson, at least, I wanted him to win that day. But you know what? I kind of liked Ian Morgan anyway. I'm glad he won. So, ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೊಡೆದಲ್ಲ ಅವನು.
At least he's not a true British captain. He's Irish.
Correct.
Irish.
If you haven't seen that game, Afghanistan ಮೇಲೆ, he was brutal on Rashid Khan. 77 runs and ಹೊಡೆದ. You should have watched that.
150 ಏನೋ ಹೊಡೆದಲ್ಲ against.
But Rashid Khan got 70 or 80 runs in 10 overs.
Yes.
My goodness, he killed him. 150 runs.
6 ಏನೋ ಹೊಡೆದಿಯ ನಾನು.
Highest number of sixes in a
highest number of sixes. Yeah.
Brilliant knock adantu. Tumba ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ.
No, overall highest number of sixes, I suppose.
Correct.
Actually, ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, especially ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, every ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ winning team, there is one inspiring knock from the captain somewhere.
Correct.
ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಪಿಲ್, ರಣತುಂಗ, ಧೋನಿ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ,
ಪಾಂಟಿಂಗ್, ಮಾರ್ಗನ್,
ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ನು ಪಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ. ಅದು ಸ್ಟೀವಾ, ಅದು ಗಿಬ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು.
ಸೆಮಿಫೈನಲ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್.
120 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಅದು.
ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ he dropped the World Cup.
He drops the World Cup.
He dropped the World Cup. True. Herschel is one of the better fielders.
Awesome fielder. ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು ದುಡ್ಡು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ನು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ತಿಂದಿದ್ನೇನು ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ವಾಸ್ ಅದೇನೋ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಗಿಬ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೂ ಬಂದಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
He was never convicted of anything. Only luckily or unluckily the captain Hansi. So
but I feel ABD Kalis our time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಗೆಲ್ಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಪಾಪ.
Yeah.
ABD at least ಮುಂದಿನ ಶೋದ IPL ಗೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಒಂಥರ ಜೆನ್ಯೂನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟೆಡ್. ಒಂಥರ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಒಂದು ಇದ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರ. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್?
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ABD ಹರ್ಷ ಬಾಗ್ಲೆ ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಕೇಳು ನೋಡು.
ಹೌದಾ?
ಅದೊಂಥರ the bromance between him and Kohli, his passion towards South African cricket, and that barren cupboard, that they don't have any trophy. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂಥರ ಸಕಲ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
But maybe Asha Bogle now, I mean, he was the one who inspired ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು.
Asha Bogle is another topic. Actually, let's talk about commentary next week.
I know. Right. That's true.
About some fine anecdotes from commentators. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'll continue this. Thank you, Somu and Vinay.
Chala. ಹರ್ಷ ಬೋಗ್ಲೆ ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ತಾಳ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಗಿವ್ ಮೀ.
ಚಿತ್ರ
ಇದು ಇವನ್ ಜೊತೆ ನೋಡು, ಇವನು ಯಾರೋ
ವಾವನ್.
Yeah, Michael Vana. I got a bunch of pictures of them.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲ.
Yeah.
Michael Vana and Ganguly commentary ಮಸ್ತ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಬಾಲ್ ಕೊಡೋರು ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ.
ಓಹೋ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಪಲ್ ಇದ್ದಂಗಿದೆ, ಸಖತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ.
ಆಪಲ್ ಅದು. ಆಪಲ್.
ಓಕೆ.
Yeah.
ಆಪಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೋಗೋ.
I mean, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ, I think I'm going to show you one more picture before I go. ಹರ್ಷ ತಡಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇವನ್ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಾನೋ? ಅದು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಸ್ ಇದಪ್ಪ, ಇದ್ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಗುರು, ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಬೇಕಾ ನಿನಗೆ? ಮೈಕಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾರ್ಕ್
ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಅವನು ಗೊತ್ತು.
ಯಾ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಕಣ, ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದಾರೆ ಕಣ.
ನನಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಪಿಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಮೈ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ದೇ ವರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್. ಇವನ್ ಮೈ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ವಾಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅವತ್ತು. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ದೇ ವರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮೊಹಾಲಿ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಶೋರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವೇರ್ ದೇ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ನನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದ್ರು ಹಿಂಗೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಧೋನಿ, ಸಚಿನ್, ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್, ಓ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್, ಸಖತ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅದು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂಥರ ಕೈ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರು. ಶಾನ್ ಮಾರ್ಷ್.
I mean, I literally saw everybody. I mean, literally met, spoke quite a few people.
Super.
ನಾನು ಶ್ರೀನಾಥ್ನ ನಮ್ ಜೆಸಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅವನೇ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಅದೇ ರೋಟರ್ ಕಫ್ 97 ನನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ he came back to finish his exams.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
ರೋಟರಿ ಇದಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅವನು ಒನ್ ಇಯರ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ he came to JC to write his final some of the exams that he ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಕುಂಬ್ಳೆನ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಪಾಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ.
ಕುಂಬ್ಳೆ, ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫಾರ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹುಡುಗಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರ.
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಡರ್ಬನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ವಿ, ನಾನು ಶೇಖರಿ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಸೈಡ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲಿವೇಟರ್ ಇತ್ತು ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಮೈ ಗುಡ್ನೆಸ್, ವಿ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ 4-5 hours with them ಅಪ್ಪ. That was unbelievable. I mean, only person who never came out was Sachin. Even ದಾದಾನು ಬಂದ. ಅವ್ನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಅವ್ನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ದಪ್ಪ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅವನು.
ಸಚಿನ್
ದಾದಂದು. ಸಚಿನ್ ಭಯ್ಯ ಅವ್ನು ಹಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮುಟ್ಸೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನೇನು. So it was fun. It's those are the things that you always remember in your life.
Golden days of Indian.
Golden. ಒಂದೊಂದ್ ಸತಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅದು ಹಣೆ ಬರ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಹೋಗಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. It was fun,
ಅಲ್ಲ, even for Indian cricket, those players.
Correct.
ಆ ಟೈಮ್ era.
ಅವ್ನು ದಿನೇಶ್ ಮೋಂಗಿಯಾ ಸಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್.
159.
ಅವ್ನ ತಲೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪದ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ. ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು. I mean, it's sad, but that's what
ಅವನು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟ. ಅದು ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್ ವಿಕೆಟ್ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮುಗೀತು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು reshuffle the batting order.
Yeah, true.
Azhar commentary was good. I mean, captain match ಗೆದ್ದಾಗ our boy stuck to the plan. Our English was too good. ಅಂತರ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಏನೋ.
See, nobody, even a lot of Indians now, they cannot speak decent English.
Only I think Dravid, Sachin, Dravid and Ashwin is too good.
Oh yeah, yes, he's very good. ಓದಿದಾರೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ. ಅದೇನೆ the difference between education and not, I mean, I'm happy Kohli speaks really well. I like that.
Kohli speaks
but
well, yeah.
Rest of these fast bowlers not ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಎದೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. That includes our left arm spinner ಅವನೇನು ಜಡೇಜಾನ. Yeah, but it's okay. They're good players. We like them. So, hey, it was great, appa. Hey, good meeting you, Vinay. It was very nice, my friend.
Yeah, so much, sir. Same here.
ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. We'll
Yeah,
keep in
sure,
touch
sure.
and ಬನ್ನಿ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ನೋಡಕ್ ಬನ್ನಿ.
So
ಅವ್ರು
even
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿದೆ.
my so
Oh
even
my
he has the curly hairs. So ಅವನು ಅದೇ ಒಂದ್ ಸಚಿನ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ.
Oh, very nice.
ಅವನು
Hey,